Now, I think the procedure that I'll follow is I'll say, and you can say with me, pranam mantra to Prabhupada, etc. And then our candidate for initiation can have her neck beads changed. And then I'll speak something. That's step 3. And then she can take her vows. Someone can give her her beads. And then you can have the final kirtan. I understand the procedure is that Sunday there'll be a yajna. So I'll begin with pranam mantra. Namah Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Prachadine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatadine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Now I hope there's an arrangement for her to have replacement neck beads, yes? She's looking. Someone can help her put on her new neck beads. She has a friend next to her.
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay, great.
Our mom is...
Okay. While this is going on, I'll say a few things. A few things include, I understand that Bhakti Marg Swami was recently visiting you all, and you're very fortunate to have his wonderful association. And I understand, in addition, there was a yajna at the temple, and very happy that he's able, all the way from Canada, to come visit in Guyana and give his association. He's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Vaishnava. And I don't know what your plan is for this coming Sunday, but I understand this coming Sunday that there will be a yajna. So however you do like that, that would be very nice. And I'd like to say a few things about the significance of what we're doing today. As you know, we all know, Rupa Goswami has written extensively on the science of bhakti. And one of those writings is Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, there are 2 verses that describe the 9 stages of bhakti. And what's happening today is one of those 9 stages of bhakti. In the 9 stages of bhakti, he doesn't specifically indicate diksha, but in the process of bhajana kriya, the process number 3 or stage number 3 of bhakti life, traditionally, our acharyas have described this is the stage or phase where diksha takes place. That is to say, preliminary faith, association with sadhu, and in the association of sadhu, bhajana kriya, doing devotional activity. When devotional activity begins, in due course of time, not only sadhu, but a particular link in disciplic succession becomes an inspiration for the individual, and they take shelter of Krishna through that current, using Prabhupada's language, the current link. Current link is a metaphor or an allegory to a chain. Prabhupada's description of the chain of disciplic succession, as we know, commonly chains have links. And in the chain of disciplic succession, there's this link, that link, the other link, linking one to the original source, Krishna. And then Diksha takes place via the current link. And any one of the persons who are in that line of disciplic succession and those who know the science of Krishna and inspire the hearts of a new devotee, a sadhaka, then Diksha takes place. And Diksha signifies, so what's happening right now, it's a formalization of making one's connection with Krishna. That is to say, before the formalization, it's informal. And with the process of Diksha, it's formalizing a connection with Krishna through disciplic succession. And there are two main things that happen in that formalization. One, there's submission, and the other is acceptance. That is submission unto Krishna and acceptance by Krishna. And the link, the current link, is simply a nimitta, or an instrument or representative of the person who is the object of one's submission. I'll say it again. The object of one's submission is Krishna. And Diksha is formalizing submission unto Krishna and acceptance by Krishna. And therefore, when Diksha takes place, the formal connection with Krishna is established. That which was present, previous, and subsequent continues and continues and continues. And that is, the relationship with Krishna becomes, when done properly, it becomes matured, and one's eternal relationship with Krishna becomes matured and revealed and experienced, and one's life becomes absorbed in, at least potentially, one's life becomes absorbed in that eternal relationship with Krishna. And so that's of the 9 stages of bhakti, this is stage number 3. And there you'll keep going and going further in the process of submission and acceptance. There's a nice verse we just discussed yesterday evening in Lord Chaitanya's teachings to Sanatana Goswami. And in that verse, it's a section describing bhakti. And Lord Chaitanya says, one who submits to Krishna and is accepted by Krishna, and their focus is upon, you got to fix the echo. Can you just mute it? Krishna accepts him as his associate. That's expressed in very simple language, but what it means is pretty consequential. To be accepted as Krishna's associate, that's big, and we're little. However, the process of formally connecting with Krishna is big, because Krishna is big and we're small. And humility is natural and imperative for one to come to this position. Now, in my experience, listening to recordings of Srila Prabhupada's initiation lectures or hearing recordings of those classes, reading transcriptions of those classes, there's a very nice simple principle. The simple principle is, we'll give the Sanskrit, but Mandukya Upanishad indicates that tad vijnanartam sagurum eva abhigacchit samatpani shotriyam brahmanishtam. When I've heard those lectures, Prabhupada always invariably speaks. 2 verses, that's one, from the Upanishads. That person, tad vijnanartam, that person who wants to know, what? Know the absolute truth. Tat vijnanartam sagurum eva abhigaschet. Taking shelter of guru is imperative. It's absolutely necessary. To say it negatively. Without that formal connection, making and coming to understand Krishna is not possible. That is to say, bhakti is the means to understand Krishna, and bhakti includes taking formal shelter. Yeah, the other way. Without the formal shelter, the formal connection with Krishna, all living entities are eternally part and parcel of Krishna, that we know from Bhagavad Gita. That doesn't change with initiation. But the formalization through submission makes it possible to come to the stage of realizing Krishna, one's relationship with Krishna, and one's rasa with Krishna, the loving exchanges with Krishna. It's made possible through that medium. So it's a big event. Tad vijnanartam sakarum eva abhigaschet samatpani shrotriyam brahmanishtam. The Upanishads are very terse, and they don't expand things, basically present principles in very terse language. When a learned person knows what they mean, and a person is not learned doesn't know what they mean. So samatpani literally means firewood or wood in hand, which indicates the position of a disciple should be prepared to render menial service, such as what Krishna and Sudama Brahman did. Every day they would go to the forest and gather wood for the yajna that their spiritual master Sanipani Muni was doing as part of his service unto the Supreme. And they were just assisting him. So Samatpani indicates that the mood of submission and service to ultimately unto Krishna, but through the medium of the spiritual master. Samatpani Shotriyam Brahmanishtam. So in that language, those 2 words, it indicates the quality of the spiritual master. Quality of a disciple, submissive service. Quality of the spiritual master, Shrotriyam, they've heard the conclusion of the scripture, and Brahmanishtam, they're nishta, they're firmly established in Brahman. They have realization of that which they've heard. Those are qualifications of guru, qualification of a spiritual master, and the inquisitiveness is an essential first part, tad vijnanartam, and sagurum eva abhigaschet, making that connection. So exactly what we're doing, that's why Prabhupada would speak on this verse during the process of Diksha, because that's what's happening. A formal connection is established between Krishna and the shishya, the student, the disciple, through the medium of the spiritual master. And similarly, another verse, Tasmat Guru Prapadyeta Jigyasu Shre Uttama Shabde Parecha Nishnatam Brahmani Upashramashrayam. This is the Navayogendras having a discussion with King Nimi, 11th canto, chapter 2, and they are answering questions by King Nimi, and one of them, Sage Prabhuda, gives this information about what we're doing just now. That is, Tasmat Guru Prapadyeta. Tasmat means therefore. Tasmat, one who wants to make spiritual progress. Therefore, such person, tasmat guru prapadyeta. We all know the meaning prapadyeta, surrender or submission unto guru. Tasmat guru prapadyeta. Jigyasu. Jigyasu means inquisitive. Inquisitive, everyone's inquisitive in something. The birds are inquisitive, where's food in the morning, and the person in the marketplace, what's the price of the commodities that they want to buy or sell. Everyone's, read the newspaper. People are interested in something, and those that are interested in the highest benefit, Shreya Uttama, that's, Krishna consciousness, or the long-term ultimate benefit of the living entity, such a person requires taking shelter of a spiritual master. Sasmat Guru Prapadyeta Jigyasu Shreya Uttama. And then again, what's the qualification of that spiritual master? Shabde Parecha Nishnatam. Shabda, Pare, transcendental sound vibration they've heard. Shabde Pare. And Chanishnatam. They are fixed and they can eradicate the doubts or uncertainties or lack of understanding in the hearts and in the minds of those who take shelter of them. They have that capacity or power invested in them by Krishna to do this service. Shabde Paresha Nishnatam Brahmani Upashamashrayam, and Ashraya, Upasamashraya. They've come to the place of complete shelter, the personality of Godhead. That's our two verses, or Srila Prabhupada's two verses, quoted again and again and again and again to help us understand what we're doing right now. The principle is submission and acceptance. Now, on behalf of Krishna, as the spiritual master is acting on behalf of, or say it differently, the function of Guru is to deliver Krishna. And Krishna empowers the Guru to deliver him. One can't do that without being empowered by Krishna. But when Krishna empowers, then Krishna is delivered. And that delivering of Krishna has, according to scripture, there are 5 elements, and I'm going to end with this. The Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes, if you want to research, you can find it. The Pancha Sanskar. Pancha means 5. Sanskara means impressions, and Diksha accompanies these 5 activities. One was just done, the giving of neck beads. Some of you may know, Bhaktivinoda Thakur was very, very interested in Krishna and Krishna Bhakti. However, it took him quite some time for him to find a spiritual master that he could repose and take shelter, repose his faith and take shelter. And prior to that time, he was speaking on the Bhagavatam, but without the formality of Diksha, because formality of Diksha was necessary at a certain stage, Abhigachet. So he would speak in the Sri Vallabha Gardens in Puri, and he had an audience that came to hear from him because he was an eloquent and very, very learned Vaishnava. And people came to hear from him. But when he was speaking, he wasn't wearing tilak, and he wasn't wearing neck beads. And it became an issue that he explained later. And the explanation was because, according to Vedic ritual, he had not found Guru, and therefore he wasn't wearing tilak, and he wasn't wearing neck beads. So we accept, Prabhupada, it's modified since the time of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. We have neck beads in our gift shop. And, people not initiated, children and whoever, we sell tilak in gift shop and people wear tilak and it's just fine. It's not a transgression of etiquette. But at the time of initiation, there's 5 things traditionally. One of them we just did, the neck beads. Tilak, urdhvam pundra. Tilak is applied on the body of the initiate. And traditionally, at the time of Gayatri Diksha, one receives deity. That's 3. And one receives a name. So that's coming shortly. Prior, there's mother and father give a name to their child. And when there's initiation, it's like Dvija, it's a second birth, and then a name is given. So when vows are taken for initiation, which we'll do shortly, then there'll also be a name assigned. That just the purpose of giving names. One of the principal purposes of giving spiritual names, Prabhupada has explained, simply to help the individual remember Krishna. Because the other name reminds one of their connection to family, and then a particular first name, so the first name and family name. That's their identity, it's in terms of this body, but the spiritual identity is not given at the time of birth, but at the time of initiation, spiritual remembrance of Krishna is encouraged and awakened and facilitated. So spiritual name is given. So I think we're ready for our next activity. And so Sandhya, you're going to have to get the microphone. Give this young lady the microphone, because I'm going to ask you 3 questions and you're going to speak into the microphone in front of your deities, in front of Prabhupada, who's behind you back there, and take your initiation vows. Just have a seat. Have a seat. Okay. Obeisances before the deity and obeisances before Prabhupada. Oh, great. We got a microphone set up for you. Good. Okay. Can you speak so that I can hear you? I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you. Okay, very good. So our following Srila Prabhupada, I have added one additional vow that comes at the time of initiation. The first vow is from today onwards, as you've been doing for some period of time now, how many rounds you'll chant every day, health permitting, for the rest of your life.
On a daily basis, a minimum of 16 japa rounds.
And fantastic. And the 4 rules that you'll follow for the rest of your life.
No meat eaten, no gambling, no intoxication, and no illicit sex.
Okay. And I have added another nice one. I hope you'll find it convenient. As you've been doing, you'll continue for the rest of your life to carefully follow Srila Prabhupada's teachings.
Of course, always.
Okay. Now, for those of you that are in the audience, through Vangsidhari, she made a little request. Maybe you know what her request was, but she has a liking for kirtan, and she her request was her name have kirtan somewhere embedded in the name. Now it's an open secret. So her name has something to do with kirtan, and you can get the spelling with diacritics by looking up the word in Prabhupada's books. But your initiated name is Sri Kirtaniya Devidasi. No, Kirtaniya has some diacritics in the spelling. Kirtaniya simply means a singer. And the last A has elongated mark over it, which means female. Female names have the vowels at the end have a long mark or elongated sound. Sri Kirtaniya Dasi. And you know the meaning. One who is engaged in the service unto Krishna of Krishna Kirtan. So now, Zoom initiations are not as celebrate. They're not as fun. The celebration comes next by the grains and the yagya and the mantras and so many nice things. So you just have to have a pause between today and Sunday and continue all of that Sunday. And that's if I understood the plan correctly, that Sunday will be the fire yagya. Prabhupada, Dave, yes? I can't hear you.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, yes, Sunday morning we'll do the yagya.
Okay,
Peace.
fantastic. And you have a very large temple room. I can see Prabhupada way in the back there. And, the camera moved a little bit. I could see the deities. So it's a nice facility. You probably have a nice gathering there on Sundays.
Yes, Maharaj, yes.
Okay. So,
switch to the day.
So Kirtan, there we go. There's the nice deities. Say the name of the deities again, please.
Shri Shri Paramakarna Nitai Gaura Chandra.
That's the longest name I've ever heard. That's a nice name.
Nitai Gaura Chandra, Maharaj.
Nitai Gaurachandra, okay. But it's a longer name. And when you do your advertising for the temple, you have the long name, right?
Yes, Maharaj. On the 26th, we are going to do the Brahmotsava ceremony, the installation anniversary on the 25th and 26th next week.
Okay. And how many years have the deity been installed?
16 years, Maharaj.
16 years. Okay. So nice deity.
We like to thank you very much. We like to thank you very much to continue to be of service to ISKCON Guyana and of course our dear Kirtaniya now, Kirtaniya Devidasi. And Maharaj, we do look forward for your physical association anytime. Otherwise, Maharaj, we also look forward if you can at least spare half an hour maybe every month and maybe have a little Zoom discourse with us will be nice for the disciples and devotees in Guyana.
I get a lot of invitations, more than what my capacity permits. So I'll leave it to your imagination.
I know, Maharaj. I know. Thank you, Maharaj. Well, at least if you can do once a month, half an hour Zoom for the devotees here and disciple will be something that we can consider.
Okay. What is there a day of the week that's better than another day of the week?
I will discuss it with Paramatma Prabhu Maharaj and we will let you know.
And is there a time of day better than another time of day? Same question. So
mostly in the evening, Maharaj. Mostly in the evening will be good for us, like around 7 to 8 in the evening Guyana time.
Okay. let's see. No promises. Let's see.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Paramatma knows how to contact me. He from time to time he sends stuff, including this, warm invitation. Please come to Suriname. Blah 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 blah. So, he can relay the message. The time and so forth. And let me consider. And I'd like to do. And I like to say yes rather than a polite no. I learned how to say polite no's because I'm only so elastic. I can only stretch so far. But let's see.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the invitation. So you have nice kirtan for a while, and
yes, Raj. Vicharu Prabhu here, one of the Kirtan Ruchi Wala. So, Vicharu Prabhu, Harinam Ruchi. He's from the Harinam Ruchi team. He's visiting us here in Guyana. So, Vicharu Prabhu, please, Kirtan.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. You want to leave the Zoom link?